Yes, all the Shalewas, Vanessas,
Falila.
Alimas, Falilas out there. Big shout out to all of you. And yes, thank you for still sticking around to watch the show. Called Tea Time. And of course, man, Lily is still holding me down now. You know now. I'm in good hands, yeah? Anyways, man, let's move on to the next story. And 3 leaders of the social justice movement, Black Lives Matter, secretly bought a swanky Southern California mansion for nearly $6 million using donation cash. Patrice Cullors, Alicia Gaza, and Melina Abdullah recorded a video last June outside the secretly purchased home while marking the first anniversary of George Floyd's murder. According to a real estate listing, the house is a 6,500 square foot spread with more than 6 bedrooms and bathrooms, fireplaces, a pool, and parking for more than 20 cars. According to reports, the property was purchased in October 2020 with funds that had been donated to the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation. The 7-bedroom residence was purchased by a man named Diane Pascal 2 weeks after BLM GNF, which is Black Lives Matter Global, you know the rest, received $66.5 million from its fiscal sponsor earlier that month.
Oh, wow.
How do you feel?
Wait. They got it for themselves personally, right? If we are to judge by this.
Okay, so there are different sides to the story,
Okay,
right?
interesting.
So, all right, so let's start from the part where one of their members, who has now resigned, spent about $3.2 million on 3 homes in California last year. That's first thing first. Now, somebody who started Black Lives Matter, a movement for people, right, bought $3.2 million worth of homes, right? Maybe $1 million per home, or maybe, you get what I mean? $1 million.
Doesn't even matter how much.
It doesn't matter, but she did that, right? But now, where the whole controversy and where people, because people have been talking about, oh, you people are using it for your personal gains and all of that. You really don't care about black people. You don't think Black Lives Matter. You don't think, do you understand? Like, of course, and they have tagged it as a media attack. Right? They have said, oh, people will say negative things, people will do this. So there are different terms of what's it called now, the Black Lives Matter movement, right? Where they want to support the family. So if you're a victim of, you know,
brutality and all of that,
police brutality, you know, and all of that, or white supremacy, and then you have a child, right? And the child wants to be a musician, for instance. They want to have a place where they can train the child, you know, bring in the dopest and realest black people. Yes, it's part of it. So which is what is the defense for the $6 million home right now? Like, it is supposed to be like somewhere that everybody can.
Okay, now, quick question.
Can come together.
Did they say this before it was found out or after it was found out? Well,
so first things first, right? Somebody else bought the house, right?
Okay.
And a week later, it was listed on LLC. And what that does is that it restricts how you know who owns the house. So it would never be disclosed. So if I buy a house in America and I never want the world to know, maybe unless it's a criminal case and there, you know, there's an FBI, I'll go and drop it with the LLC, I'll register it with the LLC. So no matter what you do in this life, they'll not come and say it's a fellow or Shige that owns the house. So that already looks like is a coded thing. We're doing this one codedly. Do you get what I mean? So, you know, so this gave rise to a lot of, which they have been under a lot of fire. It's not now, of course. Every good deed is always under a lot of fire. There are people that still do good things, but see me, I'm a very liberal person, so I feel like some things can slide. But where I'm not
$6 million house.
No, I'm coming. $6 million.
$6 million. What am I even saying?
Don't show me the place.
$6 million. We're talking about $9 million house in total, right? Okay, go on.
Okay, so if there's like all of these problems in the black community and the black is a black movement for black people, Black Lives Matter, all of that. We see all these vices, we see all these other things that is being perpetrated in the in the black community and all of that. I feel like the money could have been better spent.
What are you getting a $6 million house?
So now their defense is like, is where artists can come and swimming pools, 6,500 acres. square foot, and you're like, we are wondering, like, okay, who they come actually? Even Jay-Z.
How many people are you housing there?
Even Jay-Z will come to a 3-bedroom apartment. Now, they said they want to turn one room to a studio, and then the thing is, another thing that bothers a lot of people is that they are saying that, okay, they shot one episode in the house, and they're saying it's not a living place for any of them, so they don't live there, right? So it's supposed to be a place where people can gather, share ideas, have meetings, produce music. It's supposed to include a studio or book club, all of those things, It's supposed to
What if as a black person I want to learn to be a chef? What if as a black person I want to be a writer?
There are other places
you are take into cognizance the fact that it is a 6-bedroom apartment. 7-bedroom apartment. One is a studio. Okay, one is a studio.
So you have 6 rooms.
So do you know how many talents there are that could be taken into consideration?
And one at a time. That's what they're trying to tell you.
So all black people want to learn music.
All black people want to be artists as well. They
No,
want
but all
to be
black.
a place.
I'm asking if you say one at a time. Okay, now let's break this down.
No, that's why I said there are other departments to the Black Lives Matter. So there are people who focus on professional people. There are people who focus. So this building was supposed to be one of the artistic buildings where they can gather, have their meetings,
And they did not inform the people that made the contributions.
But another thing is, apart from that, I feel like the money could have been
put to better use. What are you getting a $6 million house for? I mean, people are in the trenches. Literally, people are going through a whole lot.
Understand?
And you are getting. And I am very certain that even with the whole we are getting for all of us, there will still be prejudice.
Then I'm not beginning to
be a bias even then. So why are you getting a $6 million house when people are suffering, going through a whole lot?
And then a few of them are now resigning, they're saying, I think the chief something resigned like 2 months ago, where she said, she doesn't want to be part of it again, like blah, blah, blah. And she was the one who was criticized for buying $3.2 million houses.
Tell me what they want to do $3.2 million house.
3 houses. What do you want to use 3 houses to
like?
One no reach you. It's like when we're talking about Cora yesterday and we're talking about how her husband was flipping and we're like, okay, this is a single mother.
So much space. So what is she doing with so much space?
She should go and collect a mansion.
How many black people can this place possibly house? We are talking about the entirety.
They couldn't get the complex. They couldn't get a project.
No
they couldn't go buy a project, fix it up, do something
and provide jobs for these people. And you are telling me they are going to be trained.
Or
that is
they couldn't go buy, on that vast amount of land, right? You could have opened complexes and tell black people at a very affordable rate, we'll give you a store, just pay for it and you can start your businesses.
I mean, this is supposed to help
the money could have
people.
Helped people
Set them up, open a grant, or I don't know, just do something that is actually going to affect these people. We're talking about almost immediately.
Focus on the education of the victims' children.
So I do not know what getting.
Focus on policy making.
Do you get? Okay, if you want me to learn, you want to train me, and that's fine. That's a very, very good.
It's good.
But I'm sure there are black-owned establishments that can actually put people. We're talking about doing collaborations. We don't just want to think fast. We should think smart. When you can do collaborations with black-owned establishments that would actually teach these children or the kids or the teenagers very, very well. I do not see the point of getting a $6 million house with 7 bedrooms.
And of course, as you know,
one of the bedrooms is already a studio. So we have 6 bedrooms left.
One will be a book club.
Then the other one is going to be a drawing studio. And the other one, they are going to learn tailoring. The other one, they are going to... It makes no sense.
Always remember that racism will not last forever. Black Lives Matter movement will not last forever. Because I have a dream that one day black people will be great. Yes, I have that dream. So I want to believe that. At the end of the day, where does this go to? Does it go back to the community? But when you're beginning to do the whole LLC thing, it's beginning to look
seems shady. Because why are you purchasing a house that is what... You are using public funds to purchase a house, and you are hiding that you purchased the house. To what end? So if they were not called out, we would not have known. That's why I asked you at the very beginning. Did they tell us that they got this house before or after they were found out?
Well, it was blocked out from the media for a long time. So there's this reporter that is bent on opening their they are behind. Do you understand? There's this reporter, so it was the reporter, and then they tried everything, but she continued her investigation, on how, LLC.
How everything was spent.
So she was just telling us that, okay, and this is what they have listed the house for. So it's even that same reporter that is not them now. They're telling us that this is what they are saying. Does it make sense,
so if
people?
If the reporter did not find them
no
out,
know.
they would have told us. Do you actually buy what they said? The excuse, the
I don't
reason
know. I
they
don't
gave
know
for
about
getting
people.
the
I don't
house?
think they are arts now, sister.
Like, I cannot possibly buy, because you know that when you're talking about public funds, the best way is through thorough transparency. That is,
and that's the
only
problem they
way.
have always had.
Because there are so many different people with different mindsets that are involved in, getting
I have this friend who called me for an NGO gig sometime last week that she wanted me to come and just do. It was they were commissioning a building for orphanage and all of that, and then she just wanted me to come and just hype the people up and all of that. And she said it's a favor, or it's an NGO. They are not making me in my head. I'm like, NGO we build. You don't understand? Like, they make the most money that you don't know about, but they're always leveraging on that. It's an NGO. Yeah, it's a non-governmental organization. Only government, they make money.
So you want to tell me that every single thing that
they always want it free.
But
NGOs
do they get it free all the time?
Most of the time, NGOs get it free.
So that means
they make money. That's why they feel like, that's why most of them, it takes a few honest ones to be transparent, but there are a lot of them that
know how to milk situations.
$6.5 million donation. Come on.
And you are telling.
Think about it now. You don't see their calculation. They just say, they're not going to know.
They're not going to notice. We will just take this small. We'll take this small
6 million now.
6 plus the other 3.2 now. We'll just keep this small 9.
No, that 3.2 was earlier. I think it was earlier. It was last year. It wasn't
a different one from the 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, so in total.
We're talking of like.
But the 3.2 was
million.
one person. There were 3 founders. There are 3 founders, right? The 3.2 was by one founder, which was under fire sometime last year for buying houses worth 3.2. 3 houses worth $3.2 million. And we were like, where did they get the money from? What
are they using the houses to do?
For instance, okay, let me paint the scenario. There was NSAS movement. Yeah. We had Sega Link. We had Rugged Man. We had people who stood. We had DJ Switch and all of that. And then they started this whole NSAS thing. So, which is why a lot of people were fighting not to have a face for the NSAS movement here in Nigeria, because they felt like.
Because we know it's not even field.
So, imagine suddenly we say Sega Link, Rugged Man, and DJ Switch are our faces. Then suddenly Sega Link, maybe he was driving a Mercedes before, he's now driving a Lamborghini. You know, go, bros.
Just like that.
Do you get what I mean? That's exactly what's going on. Rugged Man, let's say he was driving, another brand before, and then he has elevated. He said he had built mansion in this thing, above Maserati. He has upped in his Maserati. And then he's now living somewhere in Abuja, bought estates, vast land.
Of course, there'll be questions.
There'll be questions like, is this not the one? What's the source of your income? That's exactly what's happening to these ladies right now. So it's not like these women
they volunteered. They were not forced. Were they forced? So why do you agree to do something and you want to? It
was for a good cause initially, but the money
corrupts people, right?
And money is the root of all evil. Anyways, guys, I'm still speaking about evil stuff, because I'm on the page of evil when it comes to this world this morning. So if you thought Squid Game was violent, brace yourself. Wang Dong-York, creator of that hit Netflix series, says he's working on a new movie that will be more violent than Squid Game, and it just might force him to hide from older people. Wang already has a 25-page script treatment for Killing Old People Club, which is another project which he is working on. Killing Old People. The title said they scare me.
Killing Old People Club.
It's like saying killing babies.
That is terrifying.
It's terrifying, right? That's the new title of the new stuff. And Old People Club was inspired by an Umberto Eco novel whose title wasn't given. One said Killing Old People Club will surely be another controversial film, and that its violence level will top that of Squid Game. One joked he might have to hide from older people after its release. Yeah, you should. Though, if I hide from older people's children. Though no release date info was given for the film. Are we up for this? Are we up for violence in the, Do you feel like this is a creativity freedom? Like,
don't you guys watch
creative
horror
freedom.
movies?
Do you think this is
Do you watch horror movies?
Yeah.
You like horror movies?
Well, what I'm watching with my girl, yeah.
Don't you see? So what are you asking me for? What do you want to hear? What do you want me to say?
What's your worst horror movie?
I don't watch horror movies. I think I've said this on this table before.
But that's a genre now. Now this is being put on what's it called now? Something any child can see. Some Netflix is being put on ABC. It's being put on satellite networks and stuff. It's being put online. Do you understand? Which is what makes it scary. But you see, horror movies, you have to buy it. Or are you part of the copyright people?
I don't.
You used to go and rent or you used to download online.
I do not like horror movies. All of us are dead. It's not. Is it a horror movie? It's just really creepy. I couldn't bring myself to watch that movie.
You couldn't watch All of Us Are Dead?
Nope. Just from the trailer. From the trailer, it's too gory for my liking.
Really?
I watched Squid Game for some reason though. I really enjoyed watching Squid Game.
I did too, to be honest.
So what are you asking me if I'm up for it?
But you watch Squid Games as an adult and the person could just drop.
You
person like say they chop pepper. Yeah.
I don't know what to think. There's nothing what to say about it that's going to change the fact that it's going to come out and we are going to.
But now we're attacking old people. Why are we doing that though?
We let us see it.
Let's see, right?
Let's see.
It might not be as bad as it sounds. Is that what you're saying?
We've seen so many movies.
But for me,
what's the name of this movie that it's a horror movie? I can't remember the name, but the woman was killing children. I'm trying to remember the name. People watch that movie. People love that movie.
She's killing high school people.
Yeah. You know the movie I'm talking about.
I know the movie you're talking about.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
So why the bias?
Well, those are horror movies. That's where I keep telling you that, look, this is not a horror movie. There's a difference between horror movies. It's a genre movie.
So you expect it to be terrible. You expect it to be...
Yeah, like I know what I'm going for. So a child that is going for a horror movie, but I could just be bumping on Netflix and just say... But for me, though, I would watch it too. But I just feel like there should be restrictions, which is why, some countries... I know in North Korea, for instance, you're not allowed to watch Squid Games. And I think there's a penalty for people that watch Squid Games or own it. I think it's even a jail term. So for people that don't want people to see it, please just curb it, reduce it. But
we can only try. We can only try. I think there's a kids section.
But you know how many people that have gone to jail for watching Squid Games in North Korea?
It all boils down to keeping to laws. If it's a law, just the penalty. So
all of us they break the law now.
Speak for yourself, my brother. Don't speak for me.
Don't break the law.
I do not. What do you mean? I'm an upstanding citizen of the Federal Republic.
Standing ovation.
But what is it true though? Like you keep to law because
the lie once.
Is it breaking law now?
Okay, let's law.
Please,
and
I don't
breaking
even tell
God's
lies.
law.
I don't even tell lies. I really do not lie.
You're lying. I tell me you don't tell lies. You're lying and telling me you don't tell lies.
But you know the penalty, so just try your best.
Don't repentant sinner. Anyways, this is where we say we gotta go. It's been amazing having this chat with you guys. I hope you enjoy. But you guys are not calling. What's the happen now? Calling now. Let's talk, guys. And yes, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And use the hashtag TEATIME. And remember, you can catch up on our previous episodes, including this very one and all our exclusive content by subscribing to our YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. You can also watch TEATIME on Alta TV, of course, and of course in London on Ben Television and StarTimes channel 308. A big thank you goes out to my guy,
your G.
My G. We know the lie.
Yes, so the upright Elile.
New nickname, G-Liar. Okay, Eliah. Anyways, it's been amazing. Thank you for being on the show with me. Thank you to everyone who's watched, and big shout out. Cheers.